everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. So I'm really excited because in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing two of the Colorina Makeup Studio Paradise palettes that they just came out with. I don't know if they just came out with it like within the last month or 2 months, but this is new to me. And when they came up on my Instagram feed, I knew I had to buy them. I bought the San Juan palette and I bought the Havana Cuba palette. Just the packaging alone, look at this. This is so beautifully detailed, all the colors, the pops, the places. It's just beauty on its own. So this is what I'm going to be reviewing today. I'm so excited. So on the site, it says that there are 29 shadows in each palette. So this is what the San Juan palette looks like. There is a mirror, which is great. As you can see, you have 5 rows of eyeshadows. And then, I think this is really cute. You have a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, and then another blush, which we are not going to touch. This palette, it's really creative. You have your top row of neutrals and then everything else is just like a huge pop of colors. Very beautiful colors. These seem to be pressed glitters, which so you might need glitter glue or some sort of adhesive to stick them down. Oh, but it's very beautiful. Let me see how it swatches. Yeah, so I think for sure going in with glitter glue would be a good idea, but these are very soft. It picks up a lot of product. I couldn't stop myself from swatching some of them. For example, down here I had to swatch those. I had to swatch all these colors up here because I'm very impatient. And from what I could swatch, I think these palettes are gonna be very, very promising. And then same with the Cuba palette, like beautiful, beautiful palette. This one is more neutral than the San Juan palette, but you still get those colors where you can create a very colorful look, like this orange one up here, this teal one right there, even this yellow shimmer right there. You can definitely add it as a pop. And once again, you have your bronzers and highlights and a blush. And I don't know, they're just really pretty, are they not? Oh, each palette in the collection does retail for, I believe it's $17. They do come all the way from Puerto Rico. I'm not exactly sure where, but I got these in 2 days. So the shipping is pretty fast. As you can see, I did my base. I'm gonna do my bronzer, highlight, maybe a blush. We'll see how that goes. And I'm just gonna be doing my eyes. I'm thinking because I really wanna use both of the palettes, I'm gonna do one palette on one eye and then another on the other. Did that even make sense? I'm gonna do one palette on each eye. I really wanna use both of the palettes and just see how they work. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing, and let's just jump right in. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so first I think I'm gonna start with the San Juan palette. My beautiful San Juan. My god, I don't even know what to do. I really want to do something different. Like, I don't just want to go for the neutrals. I don't know. Okay, let's just see how this goes. Let's just start somewhere. Let's start with a basic transition shade. I'm gonna go in with this almost caramel brown shade, and I'm just gonna put that on my crease. Let's start off easy. I do wish, well, no, I mean, for $16, you know, it's a pretty good mirror. I do wish the mirror was a little bigger though, but for $17, I mean, it works. It's really good. This shade is blending really well. I'm not surprised. It's a basic transition shade, but it's very beautiful. Just the color story alone from this palette already has high praises from me, if you couldn't tell. Again, it's a pretty shade, it's a basic shade, nothing against it, it's just, it's not surprising that it blends very easily. Next, I think I'm going to jump into this shade right here, mixed with a little bit of the one right next to it. And I'm just going to do a little bit right there. I want to play with the pinks and the purples in the palette, but this blue is also calling me, along with this like tealish green glitter. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just playing around. There's not a lot of fallout from the palette, and these colors are very pigmented, as you can see. They're very blendable. Now I think I'm gonna go in with this purple. Okay, I see the purple a little bit. Not as much as I thought it was going to show up as, but it's definitely a buildable shade. It just kind of caught me off guard there for a second. I blended more of that pink. There was definitely a little bit more fallout in that shade than the other ones that I used. But again, it's not a big deal to me. The color is buildable and you do get a good payoff of it. Now that I'm looking a little bit closer, okay, this shade, in my opinion, it is a little bit more patchy. But again, it's not that bad. Like, you can work with it. So I'm going to go in with this dark purple right now on a smaller brush and just see how that one works. You know, I forgot to put setting powder under my eyes. Let me do that right now before we get in too deep. I got powder everywhere. Okay, so now going back in with that purple. Off the bat, it's a little bit more pigmented than that light purple, but again, it's one of those shades that you have to build, which I don't want to make it a negative. Let me put it like this. It's actually a good thing, in my opinion, that you have to build up a deep purple shade like that, because sometimes if the color is too pigmented and you put on too much at once, you're gonna ruin the whole look. So put it like this. It's actually good that you have to build it up, especially if you're just starting to play around with makeup, especially colorful shades. This is a good palette to practice with. As you can see, you still get a good payoff. It's a very, very pretty color. It's very vibrant. There is a lot of fallout though with those purples. Somehow I got shadow all the way over there to my nose. How? I don't know. We're gonna move on. So, should I go in with the blue? I wanna know how the blue would look on top of this. Should we do it? So I'm taking that blue on a flat brush and I'm taking my MAC Fix Plus. Actually, I should test it without wetting the brush first just to see the payoff of the shimmer. Yeah, you get a lot of product, very bright shade, but personally no matter what, even if you don't need Fix Plus for a shimmer, I still like to wet the brush because you get more of a pop from the shade, and I feel like it helps keep the shade intact longer. So to blend out that harsh line, I'm going back in with the two purples, just mixing them together and putting that in my outer corner. And going back. Basically, I'm just going back and forth, you know? And then going back in with the pink shades. I do a lot of back and forth when I do my makeup. Okay, I think... So the product seems to be coming off of my eye. Let me try using a different brush. Even though I don't think it has to do with the brushes. Just take... Okay, so I have a spot right here in my eye that won't take product, which is weird because that's never happened before. So I don't know, maybe it's something that I haven't noticed before, or maybe it's the shade. Maybe it just doesn't want to take down to my skin. Weird. That purple shade really drives me crazy because that spot right there doesn't want to take some color. See, the purple shade, actually, I didn't think of that. Let me try my finger. It definitely sticks on better with the finger if you pat it on. I mean, I'm going to save my final reviews for the end, but so far all I'm going to say is that my least favorite thing so far is that purple shade, just because, yes, I got the purple shade to the point of pigmentation that I wanted it to be at, but it's annoying that I couldn't do that with the brush because it just kept blending away and it wouldn't stick on. But again, you can make it work, you know? I'm not trying to say anything too negative because I don't want to do anything like that. Because again, I do love the shimmers. Like, the look came out, the eyeshadow came out really pretty. The shades are blendable. It's just that maybe that purple shade could use a few things to be fixed. Because I bet you as soon as I go to blend it, it's probably going to come off. And it did. Okay, Moving on to the next eye. We're going to Cuba. So we're flying from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Havana, Cuba. That's not even that funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. Anyway, let me just shut up. So what should we do with this one? So first I'm jumping into another transition shade. It's similar to the San Juan shade, but I think it's a little lighter. But again, it blends like a dream. So like I mentioned earlier, the Cuba palette is definitely more warm toned than the San Juan palette. I feel like this one is more usable for an everyday look than the other palette. But again, it still has those opportunities for pops of color. I mean, look at this green right here. I didn't even see that one before. So that transition shade is a bit more powdery than the other one. But, you know, you could wear this shade by itself. You don't even need anything else. I'm going to take the orange shade that's up here. Ooh, nice. It picked up a lot of product. Let's see how it performs. It has good payoff. So I think this is similar to the light purple from the last palette, where it looks brighter in the palette than when you put it on, but it still puts down more product and you don't have to build it up so many times. You know, I'm kind of living for this mismatched eyeshadow. Would I go out like this? No. But it's fun. Just to brighten it up a little bit up here, I'm going to take the tiniest bit of this like salmon color and I'm going to just barely touch my brush. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to take this green, I'm taking that shade, and let's see. And my brush is wet. Not a lot of payoff from that shade. Okay. I don't know how much of that got recorded of me applying the green shade, but just in case it didn't get recorded, all I was saying was that this shade, it was a little harder to work with than the blue shimmer shade from the San Juan palette, just because even with the brush wet with Fix Plus, you still have to keep going back and forth from the pan to your eye and building it up. It took a lot longer to get it to where it is now than how the blue shade worked. The blue shade, no problem. This one, it took me a little bit. And I'm still trying to work with it. But it's very pretty. Not too bad of fallout though. The blue had a little bit more fallout, but this one not so much. So I think I'm gonna take this one and just put that in my inner corner. No, not my inner corner. My outer corner. Again, build it up. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow. So this is the Cuba palette. And then this is the San Juan palette. Two very different looks, I may say. So I'm gonna work on the bottom lash line just really quickly. Basically taking almost all the matte shades and running them down on my lash line. So that's it for the eyeshadow, you guys. So I'm gonna go do my lashes, my mascara, my lips off of camera, and then I'll be right back to finish the rest of the face. Okay, I'm back with lips and lashes on. So I used these velour lashes for the first time ever. I got them at Ulta. Oh, actually, it's Velour X Ulta Beginner Lash Kit. I've never used velour lashes before, so this is what I have on right now. The glue, I don't think I put enough glue, I don't know. It's a beginner set for a reason, but they're really pretty. I normally just do Ardell lashes, but I want to try different ones, and these are definitely different. They do give, like, they're enough without being too much, if you know what I mean. Do I know what I mean? I don't think so. Let's finish the face. So both of these palettes have their section of bronzer, blush, and highlight. And I think I'm gonna have to use the San Juan section just because the Cuba one is a little too dark for me. I think it might be too much, but I do want to mix the highlighters in both of the palettes. But for right now, let's just go in with the bronzer. I'm taking that on a Morphe M523. This is honestly my favorite bronzing brush. For me personally, I like how it shapes my face. Anyway, let's just go in with the bronzer. So I like how the bronzer is. It's very soft, very smooth, very buildable, very blendable. It's a very all-around bronzing shade. It kind of reminds me of Hoola by Benefit, just more affordable because you get a whole palette for $17. So the bronzer is done. I love it. So just because I want to try out everything here, I am going to use the blush, but we all know how I feel about blush. So we're going to take a very light amount of that. And funny enough, this blush actually reminds me of the one I used in my Valentine's Day video, the KVD Vegan Beauty Honeysuckle blush. They're very similar in how they look, like a nudish apricot kind of blush tone. I found the brush. Normally I don't need to blend bronzer and blush together, but this is the brush that I use. That's better. So now I'm gonna take the highlights from Cuba. Actually, let me swatch it for you guys because it's very pretty. It has a nice, good reflection. It's golden but with a silver undertone. So I'm gonna put that one first, and then we're gonna go in with the light one from the other palette. So we're gonna put, there's the first highlight. Ooh. And now I'm taking the highlight shade in the San Juan palettes, which I'm also going to swatch for you guys. Now this is a silver with gold reflectives in it, so it's kind of like the opposite of the other one. And I'm going to put that basically on the tip. Just give it that little pop, you know? So I'm taking that same pale highlight shade and I'm putting that on my brow bone. Again, blending it out with my finger. I should have done this before, but I completely forgot. I'm just going to take a little bit and put it on my outer corner, my inner corner. Jesus. Whatever. I just went in with whatever lipstick was in my bag because I didn't want to get up. But I don't really like the lipstick color for, well, at least for this half I like it. I don't like it for this half, but then again, this is what happened. I wanted to try both palettes and we ended up with two different looks. So I'm going to set that with actually this new Benefit spray that came out. I don't know if it's new to everyone. Maybe it's just new to me. But I'm taking the Professional Super Setter by Benefit. I just got the little travel sized one. Okay, I like this. It kind of reminds me, it's like any other bottle, you just press it, but it gives you like the feeling of the Morphe setting mist. It's nice and soft and not like the Urban Decay All-Nighter where it just hits you in the face. I don't like that setting spray. I don't care what anybody says, I don't like it. I mean, granted, I just used this one for the first time right now, but so far I like how it feels. It feels refreshing and... Well, first of all, not only are we in the middle of a pandemic, but I'm in the middle of a snowstorm, so I'm not going anywhere, so I can't even test it out. My thoughts on the palettes. I absolutely love them. I think, first of all, like I said, the packaging is amazing. The details, the colors. A+ for packaging. And I don't care for packaging, but, I mean, if you're going to put so much hard work into it, I'm going to praise it. The colors. Let's start with San Juan. Off the bat, the bronzer and the blush and the highlight, beautiful, amazing. They're very... soft, they're very blendable, they can complement anybody. I love the contour set. The eyeshadows. Obviously, I didn't try out everything. I tried out 6 shades. Of the 6, I didn't enjoy the 2 purple ones because they were harder to work with and they weren't sticking to my skin. But besides that, this palette is great, and for the price point, you can't go wrong. The Cuba one. This one, not gonna lie, I would reach for it more than the other one, solely because, as I said, it has more shades for an everyday look. Like if I was stuck with this palette, I could make it work. I didn't try out these two because this one, the bronzing shade, is way too dark for me. And this one is like a shimmery bronzer. I don't like shimmery bronzers. This highlight though, I love it. It's very pigmented, very vibrant. And it just gave me all that I wanted. I mean, look at this highlight. Of the shades, you know what? They all worked really well. The brown one, I didn't play around with it too much, but it's like the purple one. You have to keep building it up, but it works no matter how you want it. If you want it like a little softer, if you want to build it up to get darker, it's gonna work for you no matter what. I think all in all, these palettes are worth the price point of $16.99. Even if you don't use them and you just want them for your collection on display, go ahead, because as I've been saying, they're beautiful. So obviously this is not what I do all the time. It's actually still weird seeing the fact that I have two different eyeshadow looks on each eye. But if I had to pick a favorite, it's gonna be this side, the Cuba side. But this look is still really, really pretty. I don't know. I like both of them. But again, if I had to pick a favorite, I think probably this one. But this one is still like grabbing my attention. I think I'm gonna play with those purple shades a little bit more. I have something with those purple shades that's not even funny. But I'm gonna keep playing with them. I'm gonna make them work. Okay, you guys, so which one did you like more? Are you interested in the palettes? I'm gonna have the collection linked down below, so if you're interested, you can go check out the website. But let me know what you guys think. Which side do you like more? Which palette are you more drawn to? And yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day whenever you're watching this. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe. I try to post once a week. Follow me on Instagram for more details. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!